Yep. Well, it's still a great job, and I kind of in a roundabout way owe me having this job to Dave because I used to work with his daughter, Leanne, who is married to Kevin, the superintendent. So when I was looking for a position, she's like, well, I know this great place. They have this great superintendent there. You should apply. So, and there you go. So I ended up becoming assistant principal at the high school about 9 years ago and worked as assistant principal for 6 years. Prior to that, I was also a high school math teacher. So, and then this is my 3rd year as the principal at the high school. We are now a lot bigger. So when about, I guess it's a little over 20 years ago now when they built Columbia, the high school moved to being a 10-12 school, so 9th graders are at the junior high. Hopefully someday we'll get to build a new high school and then we'll bring the 9th graders back, but right now we're only 3 grades and we're right around 900 students, so about 300 per graduating class. The 8th grade class that's coming up is at like 350 or something like that. So we are just getting bigger. So unfortunately, I do not know every student's name. I wish I could, but I still do greet them at the gate every morning. So you know, we're getting a lot bigger, but we still have a lot of the, although I think that probably some of the holes are still there in the building. Maybe just covered over. The gym is still hot, but it's, you know, it works. But we've got a lot of the same traditions. So we are still going strong with Cabbage Patch. Even in COVID, we have not had a year that we have not had Cabbage Patch. So we, the year that, that's awesome. Of course, the year we went out, we all had to go home because of COVID. It had already happened that fall. It typically happens in the fall. The next year, we weren't in school. We were remote in the fall, but we were able to come back in the spring with masks, and we did what was called hybrid. So we had cohorts. So we had a third of our students opted to stay home and do online school. A third of the students would come on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and the other third would come on Wednesday, Friday. So we held Cabbage Patch in the spring. We had 2 different Olympics, one for cohort A with masks, and we had to adjust the events, right, so that they were COVID safe, and then one for cohort B with masks, but we still did Cabbage Patch because we were not going to not do Cabbage Patch. And then, homecoming, we still do the staff skit every single year. This year it was a play on The Masked Singer. So we had 4 or 5 of our staff members dress up in, you know, those big blow-up costumes that you're like fully in and it's like a dinosaur, or like we had one of our, it was actually Kevin McCrossin, so John McCrossin's son is a math teacher, and he was in, you know, the, like at the car dealerships, the big Z. So it was like a blow-up costume of that. And then the rest of the staff were their backup dancers, and they went out and sang, and everyone danced around, and the students tried to guess who the staff were that were singing. It's fun. That's a blast, and the kids absolutely love it. So we're still doing all of those things. We still have FFA, and they still have animals over in the barn. Thankfully, I do not get the 4 a.m. phone calls to come because the animals are out. They've done a ton of work over the last couple of years. If you haven't seen the barn recently, they've repainted it. It's beautiful. We put up some new fencing around and fixed some doors because it's still the same barn. It's still the same barn out there, just like the school. It's still the same school. But they've done a lot of work at the barn, and we still have pigs and steer every year that they go and show at the farm. We should be getting animals here pretty soon. Little piglets will be in there. So that's fun. Let's see. What else? I made some notes. You would think that I would have had them electronically, but we're doing a big push right now. Maybe this is why I didn't think to put it on my phone. Our biggest issues are still smoking, but it's vaping, and cell phones, electronics. Every once in a while we'll have a fight, but it's really those two things, cell phones and vaping. So our big push right now district-wide is no phones in the classroom. They all have to either have them in their bag, or we have little caddies that they put them in to trying to get students to lock back in on classwork, not phones. So they're very addicted to their phones. Let's see. Some other things. We, in 2019 and then again in 2022, we were honored as a top 5 National Banner Unified Champion School, which means the way that Fife High School integrates students with severe disabilities into everything. So it's our life skills students, so students that may not be able to care for themselves, as they get older. They compete in basketball and soccer against other schools with peer mentor, so students who are not disabled. They'll go and compete. They are integrated into many of our different classes. We have a PE class here and at Columbia that is called our Unified PE. So again, they are in the PE class and they're connected with mentor students that kind of help them. So there's been just a lot of work around, these are all of our students, and the students who are not disabled love all of the students that are in our life skills class. They know their name, they talk to them, they have lunch with them. So because of all this work, we were a top 5 nationally honored school. So one of 5 schools in the nation to be honored for the work that we've done, which is really cool. Let's see, what else? We are super proud. We still have the shop classes. So the wood shop and the metal shop, which so many schools have gotten rid of those programs. We still have it. We actually just hired a new shop teacher this year, and he's doing great work. The kids love being in there. They build all kinds of really cool Adirondack chairs, and they get forklift certified. So it's kind of rare this day and age to have a high school that still has programs like that. There's now like specialized schools where students will go half of the day to go to programs. So we're really glad that we still have that. We've added a ton of different classes. A lot of them, our students can get almost the same amount of credits as you could get to get an AA at Fife High School. So you can get college credits through college classes. So there's AP classes, which we've had for a while, but we also have CTE dual credit classes. So like, for example, the shop classes, you can get 2-year college credit for a lot of those classes, a lot of our different CTE business classes. And then we have a partnership with Central Washington University, and we have, gosh, I wrote it down, 7 different courses, some English, some math, some business, where you can get Central Washington University credit from taking our classes from our teachers. So we have a lot of students who never leave Fife High School to go to Running Start, but still leave high school with, it could be anywhere from 30 to 70 credits that they're leaving with. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Man, we've had, as always, Fife Athletics is just amazing. We've had multiple individual state champions over the last couple of years. We had a girls swimmer, we had a girls dive. This last year we had a girls wrestling state champion, which is pretty awesome. Our girls wrestling team is just kind of exploding. Our girls track team had a team state championship a few years ago. But not only is it the athletics, but it's the academics as well. So we've had, our baseball team had back-to-back state academic championships. So that means that they had the highest average GPA out of all of the schools at 2A for back-to-back years, our girls golf team, and then last year our boys wrestling team as well. So it's both the athletics and the academics are still like holding strong. What else? Well, we have our brand new STEAM Center, which is amazing. So thank you to all of you that are community members and passed that bond a number of years ago and have been paying for that. It is an amazing, beautiful building. It's 3 stories and it's like a whole different world compared to the rest of the school. The kids love being in there. It was so cute when we first moved in. I guess it was, well, this January it will be 2 years ago, I think, that we moved in. And you know, we asked them when we moved, they're like, this, I don't know what college feels like, but this feels like maybe this is what college feels like. Okay, so there's a student store there that's open during lunches that serves coffee and drinks and some food, and that's part of a class that we offer. What else is in there? We've got our art programs in there. That's why it's STEAM instead of STEM. The A is the art. So we've got a huge art classroom that on one end is for drawing and painting, on the other end is for sculpture, 3D art. We've got our video and photography studio that has, I mean, we've had some professional like broadcasting people come in and they're like, man, our studio isn't even this nice. We have a green room in there that is just amazing for our broadcasting. Our hope is that we'll be able to do live broadcasts at some point of like the announcements and whatnot. So there's a whole control room with the green room, and it's pretty awesome. And then we've got our graphic arts program. They actually made these earrings that I'm wearing. So they make all kinds of cool things in graphic arts and produce those and sell them. We've got all of our science, well, most of our science classes in there. They've got beautiful, on the second floor, we've got 2 biology labs where we've got our biology classes, but also we have marine biology and AP environmental science in those classes. And then on the 3rd floor, we have our chemistry and physics labs up there. They are just set up a little bit differently because of the different needs. Biology, they have access to water and whatnot for all of their dissecting that they do and everything. And then we've got a couple of regular classrooms in there. We've got an ASL classroom in there, and our multilingual. So the number of students that we have who are learning English or speak multiple language, and English is not their first language, has just exploded. Exploded. I think we have, I don't know, I want to say somewhere between 120 to 150 of our students are English is not their first language. And it's multiple languages that they are coming in with as their first or second. You know, English for many of them is not even just their second language, but it might be their 3rd language. So we've got that classroom in there, and then some of our business classes, financial algebra and whatnot, in that building as well. And the students, they love taking classes in there because, I mean, it's just state of the art, and the facilities are amazing. But they also love, it's open at lunch, and there's a balcony, and they can, on the 2nd floor, and they can go out. And right now, it overlooks the football field, and on a really nice day, you can see Mount Rainier, and the huge new elementary school that's right next to us. And like I said, they just feel more adult, and you know, just like, they just want to take pride in what they're learning there. We also have, again, the brand new, beautiful elementary school, and we, I don't know if they were doing this class when you were there, Dave, but we have a class, 2 classes really, that we have a class of students who go over, and it's students who think they might want to go into education. They go and work one period at the elementary school with those teachers, and kind of help and support and teach lessons and whatnot. So we were doing it before Fife Elementary was there, but we were having to bus them up the hill. And so now that they're just right across the parking lot, we can just walk right on over, and they get more time over there. And of course, for those of you who are baseball and softball fast pitch fans, our fields are, I mean, I think they're like the best in the whole region. Our brand new fields that we have are pretty amazing. And our baseball and fast pitch programs are great too, so if you are a fan, come check out the new fields and the games and whatnot. Thinking of the parking lot, another cool thing that our students just absolutely love, we, I don't remember exactly when we started this, maybe somewhere between 7 to 10 years ago, for students, seniors, who are part of our Renaissance, which means that they have a high enough GPA, so they've kept good grades over their career. Their senior year, they get to paint a parking spot. So they, we don't assign parking spots, but if you're a senior and you have a high enough GPA, you do get to have your own parking spot, and they paint it, and they get to design whatever they want, and they come in and they paint it. So if you haven't been in the parking lot that's in between us and the elementary school, go drive through and just take a look, and you'll see all the different, just their creativity, and they just think that's cool. I mean, the staff is like, when do we get to paint our parking spots? The
and
staff.
I'm thinking I park next to a puddle almost every day.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so that's really cool that they get to do that. And Fife is awesome. The students are awesome. The community is awesome. That has not changed at all. We're way more diverse in a lot of ways. Culturally, language, financial, all of it. But it doesn't. I mean, everyone who is at Fife, the kids just absolutely love it. So it's like Dave said, it's a pretty special place, and you hear students who transfer in from other places, and they will comment about that as well. Man, Fife it's just different, they'll just say it's just, man, people, like, the kids are just nice, and of course we have our things, but even students who come from other districts, they will talk about that and the relationships that they build so quickly and easily with students and staff. I mean, that's always been a big thing, is staff relationships with students, and that is still, top on the priority list as well. So, and then I would just echo, when we get to run the bond again, the rest of the school, we're hanging in there, but it's with duct tape and whatnot. So the students, they deserve a place like the STEAM Center where they can feel special and, like they're learning everything that they absolutely can. So, yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.